Okay, let's take this all in. Oh my god, January. Oh, Activision, Microsoft, Blizzard. Oh, King. PlayStation. And it ends with Bungie. Take it all, take it all. Okay, time to go over the facts. So, let's start quite simply. That I just saw an article from IGN saying to everyone, Jim Ryan told us to expect more acquisition soon. So they're going on the offensive. So this is going crazy. And it's gonna be really interesting to see how Microsoft is gonna act in response. Because if you think about it, they want to be sure about the trust issues, just to make sure that the deal is not gonna be off and etc. about the law and all. I don't think there's really a risk from what I've heard from many lawyers, but they all say that it's still possible that the deal is gonna be off. So, not a big percentage, but you see. Anyway, let's resume the fact then. So I'm gonna read this part. This was on the official blog of PlayStation, and this was written by Jim Ryan. And this is the first part, and I thought it was interesting, so let's just go over it. It says, first off, I want to be very clear to the community that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher. As such, we believe it makes sense for it to sit alongside the PlayStation Studios organization. And we are incredibly excited about the opportunities for synergies and collaboration between these two world-class groups. I have spent a lot of time with Pete Parsons, Jason Jones, and the Bungie management team to develop the right relationship where they will be fully backed and supported by Sony Interactive Entertainment, and enabled to do what they do best: build incredible worlds that captivate millions of people. So, you see, this is PR speak, the classics. They're gonna let Bungie work by themselves. So from our latest info, let's go over it. Destiny is gonna stay multi-platform. For what we got at the moment, they never mentioned later. But Jim Ryan is telling that he wants to go beyond console. So PC is gonna be a big trademark, and if you think about Horizon, Uncharted coming, God of War that was out lately on PC, he sees that there's a big market there. So yeah. So we can expect a lot on this side. Next, they will keep creative independence and continue to self-publish. So Bungie will be free. But are they really free? Maybe they have the same approach as Microsoft, but it's still someone over your head, and I think the same about Microsoft. So on both sides, this is something to watch out. But if you take a look in the past, so with Sucker Punch, Insomniac, Gorilla, yep, we don't need to be worried. Santa Monica Studios, you know that they're treating their studios with care and enough pressure that the quality of the games is there. So I think it's gonna be okay for Bungie. Bungie is already pretty big, and in the past they've worked together a lot. So it's always organic with PlayStation. So it's really interesting to see on that side, because when you take a look at how Microsoft work on how they're buying, it's mostly getting what they lack, and it's respectful. They know what they need, and they have the resource to get it. And that's how it happens for Activision. Anyway, next fact. So Destiny some people might think that 3.6 billion, is a big price. But don't forget, this is a game still growing, and just on Steam, I checked 10 minutes ago, 50,000 people are playing right now. Just on Steam. On a Monday. So it's never gonna be dead. People are gonna play this game. Just always. So, yeah. And that shows, if you add what's possible on Xbox 2, if you add on PlayStation and every platform, Destiny is everywhere. I can't even estimate a number, but you can try. But you know this is profitable. Very much. But 3.6 billion, is it too much? In my eyes, I think it's the limit. More than that, we should take a look maybe at profits, but yeah, it's a long-term thing, and it's also showing expansion, more game. It's gonna be part of the PlayStation family, as Jim Ryan say, and in that way they can have help from other studios and also give help to other studios. So it's a lot of expertise there, a lot of new tools, way to make games that they now own. And this is important. Also, a lot of talent. This is a great part too. So it's not only profits in money, it's profit in resources, in people, in tools that they don't need to develop anymore. And it's already a system working, it published itself already, so there's a lot there. I think it's pretty interesting in that way. Also, there's an important part that PlayStation spoke before, not in the announce today, but they were taking very seriously the toxic workplace. And this is something that's pretty good, because I think PlayStation, from what I've heard from many people that work there on the internet, and one was David Jeffy, for example, PlayStation always treated people well. Maybe there's some conflicts about the people working for Days Gone, but in all the other way, they still said they were treated properly. It's just conflict of idea, pitching a project and they said no, they didn't trust them for it. Maybe some problem with communication about the role they wanted to take. So this is normal problem in the workspace. This is not toxic behavior like what's been said about Bungie. So let's not talk too much about this, but I think PlayStation can take care of this. I trust them even more than Microsoft about this. So yeah, and Microsoft has a really good approach too at the moment. Let's not talk about the Lionhead Studios, but they learned, and I think it's going well. Every studio from under Microsoft is really happy with their relationship. So yeah, that's a good thing. What's interesting? This is not a deal that you do in just 2 weeks. Okay? Just 2 weeks to make this acquisition? Hell no. So, it's the industry. People speak in the industry. And I'm pretty sure that people working at Sony knew about the upcoming possible deal, or at least that Microsoft was looking at a big acquisition. So that was a strategy. I think they knew the possibility of Activision. no journalist, sorry, knew about this, but when you're in the inside, many more information goes, and Microsoft maybe knew about the plan for Bungie too. So I guess in that way you should know that it was a long time coming, some months at least, before they decided to go with it. When they knew that Microsoft was going ahead soon, they chose to go with Bungie. And they all have a big plan, and they're very good to know what each other does. Maybe not Microsoft, anyway. But Phil Spencer, he's a great visionary. Think about it. But Jim Ryan is showing what he has, and he's pretty good. So this acquisition is pretty strategic, but you can't compare this to Activision, okay? This is not the same amount. But in my first reaction, I talked about this is a bargaining chip for Call of Duty, and I think it's still right, because Call of Duty is on a decline at the moment, and it's going very bad at Activision with toxic workplace again. This is a big problem in the gaming industry, in many industries too, but we keep hearing about it, and it's sad for developer and QA and all the people working there. That it should just not happen, but working always has its problem, and people are crazy everywhere. That's how it is. Every country has it. We just need to have proper structure to avoid everything going to the worst thing. But you can't ever be perfect, but at least try, because people need it. Now that we have all the facts, the most important one, well, let's go into a little bit of a rambling. Okay, so most likely an acquisition of this size is not that long compared to getting a 70 billion acquisition. So that means it can be quite fast, maybe 5 to 6 months instead of a year and a half. So maybe it's gonna be a little bit quicker, so it's good for project and all, and it's all paperwork, so I don't think Bungie is gonna be that much trouble with how it's gonna change a little inside, because they already know how the other company work. So that's a part that is interesting. It's gonna go faster. So maybe if the offering is fast and quick on the advantage of playing Destiny on everywhere else but Xbox, this could be a low blow to Xbox, and it's pretty sure it's never gonna come back to Game Pass. PlayStation is gonna avoid it at all cost. And I saw a video from Mr. Madiplay talking about Call of Duty being a bargaining chip for Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation later in the road. And maybe one day it's gonna happen, but for now I can't see it. What I see is a PlayStation that wants to fight this acquisition. They want to stay independent and far, far, far from Microsoft services. Even if they're using Azure, they want to keep a proper relationship, but they don't want this service. Especially with Spartacus coming someday, because Bloomberg had a leak. That was an article from Jason Schreier, yeah, and this service is the PlayStation Game Pass. Let's say it like this. Well, still didn't heard about it, because today this is the acquisition. So I expect it before summer or at September, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense in my eyes. So that's how I see it. this is gonna stay free to play, but the DLC are still gonna be associated with a cost. And it's gonna be heavy on the microtransaction again. And they're gonna try to be bigger than Fortnite, I think. This is what they're aiming. They're all aiming for this. And with Warzone, that's gonna be the biggest competitor to Destiny, I think. And Fortnite is just above the rest. So this is gonna be quite a strange triangle. This is the trinity of the free-to-play model. And they all have new view, new ways to do things. And Epic's that's trying to pierce into the PC space very strongly. I don't know what to think. So many things is happening. And it's just January. It's 30... Yeah, it's the last day of the month. It's supposed to be dead in January from what I hear and what I remember. Yeah. Okay. Enough rambling. I told you that's what I was going to do. But thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to inform yourself. Maybe I was wrong somewhere. If you don't agree or agree, you can write what you think in the comment. Stay respectful. And yeah, thank you very much. Take care of yourself.